If I woke up tomorrow and I was starting from zero again, these are the exact steps I would take to put myself in the position I'm in again now. So this is coming from someone, 42-year-old, who is on the brink of financial independence as a result of taking these steps. Now, some of these steps, I made some mistakes along the way, and we'll go over it so that you don't make the same ones. But if you're starting from zero today and you want to reach some sort of financial independence, you potentially want to retire early, let's go over them. In at number one, and this is the most important one. This is the one that's going to make all the difference. This is exactly what I did maybe 13 years ago, and that is build your income engine first. So I'm talking about increasing the amount that you're actually bringing in before you start investing. That's the most powerful thing that you can do, because it's allowing you to put more money into the market, into your pension, whatever it may be, in order to reach some sort of financial independence, if that's what you're after. So that's exactly what I did. So basically I niched down and I became a packaging technologist back in 2012. Basically, I'm one of the guys that's responsible for tethering the bottle cap to your Coke bottle. Sorry about that, but it does make a difference. Now, the demand in this industry was high. The pay was good. There weren't very many people doing it, and it's a misunderstood subject. So I completed a diploma, niched down, worked in a few different businesses, and got real high-level experience to the point where I became head of packaging at a multi-billion-dollar business. But this may be anything and everything to you. It could be something completely different to that. But what skill do you have that perhaps you can enhance upon? Perhaps you can look at a side hustle to bring in some additional money. I didn't do all of that in the first instance. I did do it eventually. You're watching it right now. So I did two things. I built my income engine in terms of corporate, right? And I got right to the top of that. And I also started a side hustle, a YouTube channel, back in 2022. And that has allowed me, when I was made redundant in April, to continue doing that and bring in decent money. There might be something else out there, right? The YouTube is so incredibly powerful. You can learn copywriting, video editing, a whole raft of different skills that can increase your income. Increasing your income is the number one tool that's going to allow you to reach some sort of financial independence. Number two, and this is more of a psychological one, I'd build a micro buffer. I'm not talking about an emergency fund here. I'm talking about a micro buffer that psychologically just takes the pressure off a little bit. We're talking £300 to £500 in a high interest account that's set aside. You're not going to touch it. You've put the money in, and this will cover the vast majority of issues that might arise. You know, your washing machine breaks, car MOT is higher than expected. It just gives that level of comfort that you've got a bit of cash in the background should something trip you up in the short term. This is also going to stop you from quitting, because you've got that cash on the side. You can now relinquish some more elsewhere. You've increased your income. You're starting to put the money to work from there. From here, what I would do is put my very first pound into my pension. If I was working in corporate again, private pension, I will put money in because the tax benefits are so beneficial. Now, thankfully, the auto enrollment kicked in when I first started working, and I was auto enrolled. I wouldn't have done it myself. That now is the way that the majority of corporate businesses work in the UK. You're going to get auto enrolled. You put in 5%, your company is going to put in 3%. The tax benefits as well is going to pretty much mean that you are doubling your money. So you're getting a 100% return right from the off. There is no investment product in the world that gives those sort of returns. Now, the caveat, of course, is you can't access it until you're 57, maybe if you're a bit older, 55. And I do think that potentially will go up. I do think that threshold is going to go up. So a lot of pension experts talk about the fact that they give you a 10-year headway in terms of when it's going to go up. So I'm 42 now. I'm looking at hopefully being able to access my pension at 57. So hopefully I've got until 47 where they don't change the rules, because that then is within the 10-year threshold that's going to allow me to access that private pension. So that pension is going to allow you to retire at 57. But if you want to retire early, I use a stocks and shares ISA. So I started in a stocks and shares ISA in January 2020. So I've been doing it nearly 6 years now, and I've built up well into six figures as a result of doing that. And that is going to enable me, if it continues at current rate, to retire at 50. That means I won't have to ever work again. The pot will be big enough to cover all of my expenses, all of my bills, a little bit of money on the side as well to play around with. From here, what I'm looking to do is keep it incredibly simple. So this is one of the mistakes I made when I first started investing. I picked some individual stocks, some penny stocks, some SPACs, all sorts of atrocious products that a lot of them failed, right? And I lost money on them. But right from the off, because I'd done my research and I'd read a hell of a lot of books, I knew that an all world was the route to take. So I was putting the majority of my cash into an all world. And as a result of that my portfolio has grown on average by 19% per year since 2000. We have been lucky with the markets, and one of the issues that we have with investing is recency bias. So the last 5-6 years have been incredible. There's been some dips in it, but your temptation there is then to try and pick individual stocks. So research from Morningstar in 2025 showed that nearly 90% of active fund managers underperformed just investing simply in an old world. Right, that's 1 in 10 are actually beating the market, and those are professionals, paid a fortune in order to do it. So if you think you're better than a professional, right, and you're doing it for the long term, you feel free to give it a go, but it's not something that I'm going to be doing. It feels a little bit more like gambling. The other thing is the psychological side of things. Having money in a stocks and shares ISA, knowing I'm not going to pay any tax, but also knowing the vast majority is in an old world, means I don't have to check my portfolio every day. I don't worry about it. Right? You can put an inordinate amount of energy and effort into trying to find those individual businesses that will fly. That effort put into just trying to increase your income is going to pay dividends much more than trying to pick those individual stocks. You'll probably underperform doing that. So with the stocks and shares ISA, you need a reputable place to do it, and that's why I am thanks to the sponsor of this video today, XTB. They've got a zero commission platform. They have a stocks and shares ISA, and at the time of recording, they pay 4.25% on any uninvested cash. With ISA rules changing in the next couple of years, that could be invaluable. You're not going to pay any tax on any of the gains, any of the dividends, so long as you're in a stocks and shares ISA. We're so lucky to have these products in the UK. We don't really appreciate it. With XTB, you can invest into 8,400 different options. But basically for me, like I said in the previous section, I try to keep it as simple as possible. XTB have a number of different all-world options that you can look to. If you're unsure on anything, drop a comment below and hopefully I'll come cover it for you. There's a link in my bio to XTB. You can also use promo code Neil. They are one of the good guys. They are an ISA that I do highly recommend. Right, we've got our pension sorted, we've got our stocks and shares ISA sorted. The next thing you need to do is think about lifestyle inflation. So one of the things that I did when I started working in corporate is anytime I got a pay rise, anytime I got a bonus, I put a proportion of that away into the market, into my pension, in order for it to work for me, enable me to retire early. So a simple rule to follow is for every £100 that your pay goes up by, or your bonus receive, or any unexpected cash that you get, put 25% of it, so £25 of it, to work for you, into the market, into a pension, into a stocks and shares ISA. This is going to ensure that you're actually seeing the benefit of pay increases, and perhaps you can use a bit of that money to do what you want with it, but it also means that you're putting much more money every time you get a pay rise into the market. That is one of the most powerful things that I did in order to be able to reach the portfolio I've got now. Clearly it's very tempting to try and take that money and just spend it and flit it away, but if you can control that urge and put the money to work for you, future you is going to be incredibly thankful. Next one, I would not try to get rich fast, okay? Hype stocks, meme stocks, these things are typically going to trip you up. You have to be doing it for the long term. You have to understand that that's the case. The only way really you are going to get rich in the short term, inheritance, massive premium bonds winning the lottery, setting up a business that flies right from the off, all of these things are highly, highly unlikely. So change tact. We look at the long term. We're talking about decades, but we are knocking decades off the amount of time that we're potentially going to have to be working. Long-term wealth is built by stacking income, consistency, and time, allowing time to do its thing. Now, the markets have been great over the last few years, and there's no guarantee of what they're going to do going forward. We can't promise anything, but typically they have continued to go on to all-time highs for the last few decades. Every time there's been a crash, the market has recovered from it. Every time we've seen dips, the market has recovered from it. You just have to stay in it and stay consistent. Next is around building a recession-proof life. So I'm talking about low fixed costs, skills that stay in demand that we covered before, no lifestyle inflation until investments are above £50,000, and avoiding debt that traps you. So debt, massively important. We're talking about high interest debt, car finance. I have never financed a car. I've got a 10-year-old Mondeo. I could if I wanted to go out and finance a fancy brand new BMW or whatever it is, but I would rather have the freedom that money buys. And the last bit is just around philosophy. Make your future self richer than your current self, right? Have the mindset right from the off that this is something that you're going to do and you're going to stick with, irrespective of what markets do. They may go up, they may go down. You're going to keep going at it. Those that take that approach do end up, typically, in the past anyway, retiring early with a decent nest egg, enough money to pay all of the bills, do what they want to do. This is around global ETFs, tax efficient accounts, being consistent and just doing it for decades and keeping with it. It is no more complicated than that. Like I said, this is the majority of what I did do in order to put myself into a position where I am pretty much on the brink of financial independence as a result of it. The side hustles have been massive for me, but they might not be right for you. It might just be about climbing that corporate ladder or getting those additional skills, moving into a different area, and you can do it at any age. I started my YouTube channel when I was 38 years old, right? There is no barrier here. You can start it.